one. Voila.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of PB Podcast. We got a little of a bit of an interesting one for you guys, but I'm gonna let my main man Steve start us off. Okay?
Let me start off. Okay.
All right. Can you start off?
All righty. We're gonna be talking about the Atlantic Division in the NBA and all of the how we think they're actually gonna do this upcoming season. And I know P wants to talk about his Knicks and how they're gonna be first in that division. No, but
we know they're not gonna be first.
Yeah, we know, but hey, you might have to work your year with your team though. You might, but if I had to pick number one in that division though, I'm just saying the Celtics. Honestly, that's just me.
Okay, that's a.
It's a safe pick.
I'm. Oh, Zach, you go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna go with Steve too. I'm going with the Celtics here. They went 48-24 last season, even with a little bit of a shortened season. I think are they playing the same amount of games again?
72.
That's 72, isn't it? 48 plus 24, 72. Yeah. So they're playing the same amount of games. I think they hit the 50-win mark this season. I believe they did get a little bit better with Tristan Thompson as their backup center now, and all the young guys are a year older, a little bit more experienced. So I'm about to go Boss at the one.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I would say Brooklyn, I want to say Brooklyn, but I think the chemistry is not going to click right away. So I think that's going to take a little bit more than the first 20 games. And if you're not, 15-5 or 12-8 by those games, you're not going to be in first place. So I'm gonna go with Boston, just like you guys. I think for my second, I still don't think Brooklyn is going to be second. I think Toronto is just a good overall team. They signed Fred VanVleet back, Kyle Lowry. Hopefully, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Siakam,
Pascal. Hopefully he will, not do as bad as he did this past postseason. But I think the chemistry's there. They've been together for 3 years now, two at least actually. So I think they're gonna take the second seed.
My second seed is this is actually a pretty good division. I ain't gonna lie, this upcoming season. But my second seed is probably be Brooklyn. They got too much star power in my eyes to fall third or fourth into that division. The reason why I don't think they'll be first is because just chemistry wise and coaching. I mean, Steve Nash is first time coaching, but just look at that team. You got Kyrie and KD.
Really. Kyrie said there is no coach.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You have Kyrie and KD on your team. They're really hard. They're not really that. They're not good at being coachable. I should say at least. But I still think with the star power alone, they'll be second in that division.
Yeah, I agree with Steve on this one too. I think they have just too much star power to not get the second seed. I think they do if the chemistry clicks early and it clicks or if it clicks the whole season. I think they hit the 1 seed. But I'm just banking off of my predictions. I'm banking off them not having chemistry issues right off the start with it. But yeah, too much star power to fall out of the top 2, in my opinion. For 3 though, I'm gonna have to go Philly on this one. I'm going the Sixers at 3. I know you guys probably don't have them at 3, but I think with Doc coming in, they did put a little bit better of a shooter with Danny Green around them. I love Matisse Thybulle. And they're also in the trade talks with James Harden. Obviously, this is before James Harden gets traded there. That's where I think he's sending them going. But yeah, Embiid, top 2 center in the league. I think he needs to play a full season, though. I know last year he almost played a full season while he's healthy. But yeah, I'm going the Sixers on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brooklyn. I think KD, Kyrie, it's a lot of star power. If they're healthy the whole year and their supporting cast is what they have been with Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie. What's the tall dude's name? Forgot his name.
Jared Allen. Yeah.
Jared Allen. Yeah. If they're all, as good as they were last year, I think they will be the best in this division. Maybe one seed in the Eastern Conference. But this division is so tough that they got 4 playoff teams automatically, 4 playoff teams in this just one division. And that's half the playoff teams right there. Yes, I think Brooklyn is going to be the third in this division.
Third for me, I go Philly. Toronto is great. They just don't have I feel like they just don't have a true one. Philly has, if in all honesty, Philly has 2 true ones. If you make it like if you I don't know, they just have 2 true ones in my eyes. But and Philly, what Philly has that no other team in that division has is a really good big man, a true big man. Yeah. So that's what sets them different with all those teams, period. But I think they will be third. They got Ben Simmons and Embiid. That's just it says it enough for itself. So
yeah, they also had some really good offseason moves. They have Seth Curry from Dallas. Danny Green's an okay move. I'm not gonna say it's anything special. Yeah. But he's a decent shooter, veteran. They got rid of Al Horford. That contract gone. I like it.
Horrendous contract.
Yeah. So I think they've only gotten better since last season, and if they're healthy, it's scary. So I have Philly as my 4th in this division. I perfectly think that any 4 of those teams can be flip-flop 1, 2, 3, 4. It just really depends on who's healthy and, who's clicking, what the chemistry's looking like. Yeah, so I got Philly at 4.
What about you, Zach?
This is where I have Toronto. I'm not 100% sold on Toronto yet. As Steve said, they don't have a clear-cut number 1. I know they do roll with Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet at the guard positions. They did lose Marc Gasol. They lost Ibaka. Siakam, you guys know how he played in the playoffs and played too well. They have Chris is it Bouchard or is it Boucher? I don't know how to say his last name.
Chris Bouchard?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think he's going to end up being a really good player for them. But it's just going to be his first year seeing big minutes on this team. They were a lot on a stretch 4 playing the 5 position. But yeah, I just don't think they have the firepower like they have the last couple of years. And they did win a division last year, so. But yeah, they're my 4th.
I'm assuming you agree, Steve.
Toronto?
Yeah, with number 4.
No, Toronto's my 4. Yeah, Toronto's my 4th. Philly's my 3rd, and you already know who's last. So.
Well, here's what I'm going to say with the Knicks. They had some good offseason moves. They drafted really well, I think.
Yeah.
With Quickly, Obi Toppin, and they signed Miles Powell, Big East Player of the Year last year. So, they didn't even draft him. So that was good. I don't like Elfrid Payton back in. I watched all 3 preseason games that they played. They're 2-1. Elfrid Payton might be the worst 3-point shooter I've ever seen in my life. Worse than you, Steve. He shoots 28% from 3, which is just complete dog doo-doo. Because the league average is 35.
Oh, my God.
But I like Mitch Robinson. I think he broke Wilt's record for field goal percentage last year. As long as he can stay out of foul trouble, he'll develop as a player. We all know him. I love R.J. Barrett. He's done really well these 3 preseason games. I think he'll be the leading scorer of the team. And also, I think he'll take a big jump. I think he will be in the top 5 conversation for most improved player. Not saying he'll win it, but also, I don't like Julius Randle as a player. I think I don't know what it is about him, but he just turns the ball over. If you watched it last night, he just dribbles with his head down. I think the fan base does not like him either. I know Kevin Knox has not been as good as people have hoped him to be. But last night he actually had 12 points in the fourth quarter. They were down 18, so he led the comeback against who they played last night.
Detroit.
No, they played Detroit the first 2 games. They played Cleveland last night. Yeah, Cleveland. They're down by 18. They came back and won it by 3 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the future is very bright, but for the next 2 years, they're going to be bottom of this division.
Yeah, that's agree. I think they're bottom of the division. They need to figure out who they want to play at the point guard position. I think that's the main focus. I mean, that's been the talk of the off season the last, I want to say 3-4 years now. I don't know why you signed Elfrid Payton back. I still like Dennis Smith Jr. I still like him. I think he did really well in Dallas. He's part of that Kristaps Porzingis trade a couple years ago.
Yep.
You guys have a really, really young starting 5. No matter who plays at that one position. But you have R.J. Barrett. Hopefully Obi's the number 3 there. I do like Julius Randle. I always have. I just feel like he's never found his spot. He's never found his team. And I like Mitchell Robinson. Last year you guys played Taj Gibson. You played
Play all the old guys.
Played old guys. I don't know why you guys do that. You guys fired your coach for it. I don't blame him. I would too. But yeah, you play Bobby Portis. And you guys got to get Kevin Knox. He has regressed since his rookie season. He has not gotten any better because you guys have not played him enough. I mean, you got to give him touches. You got to give him playing time. I mean, but you guys play Bobby Portis and Taj Gibson. Even Mitchell Robinson didn't start most games.
He only started 10. I think some of the problem is the coaching staff. I think is a problem. But I think
your owner. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ownership only plays to an extent. He doesn't really.
I mean, he
doesn't play in the day-to-day, who started the basketball game. He does not do that.
Okay, yeah, I know he doesn't do that, but he's still.
He's obviously.
Who you guys are signing. I mean, he plays a big part in all that.
Yes, I agree, but I think the problem is the coaching staff. But Thibodeau, I think, is going to be good this year.
Yeah, he's defensive minded. I don't really see any defensive players other than Mitchell Robinson on the team.
If you watched last night, Dennis Smith Jr. had 4 steals. He played. His hands were everywhere.
This is why you played Dennis Smith Jr. I've been telling you this for 2 long seasons.
First of all, we start Elfrid Payton. That's our first problem. Frank Ntilikina, good defensive player. Not that good offensively, but here's my perfect starting 5 for the Knicks. Dennis Smith Jr., R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin. Actually, we'll put Obi at the 4. We'll put Kevin Knox at the 3, just because he's young. We're not going to win with Alec Burke.
You're not playing
shooting guard. What?
You're not playing Julius Randle?
No, we're not starting Julius Randle.
He was probably your best player last season.
He's the leading scorer. That's about it, and leading rebounder, but doesn't mean he's the best player. Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson. They started Nerlens Noel the first 2 preseason games, and I wanted to shoot myself because that's how bad it was to watch.
I gotta understand where you guys are going. I think you're at the bottom of this division for the next 5 years, 6 years probably. Unless Toronto flips up or Philly flips up. I don't see Boston being anywhere out of the top 3 for the next 5-6 years. I mean, Brooklyn has KD and Kyrie for a while, but I don't.
Same for a while now.
Division, it's bad.
See, what you think about the Knicks?
I'm always comparing. I'm gonna say what my dad always says. The Knicks organization is just like Dallas organization when it comes to football. Up top, the ownership is just you need a new owner.
Yeah.
You need a fresh restart. Rebuilding. You've been rebuilding for a minute now in New York, but we could tell that it's just not. It's not like who you got on the court. It's like it has to be what's behind the scenes because this year's draft was pretty good. I don't know. I can't think about last year's draft. I mean, R.J. Barrett was pretty. There was some good picks in last year's draft too.
Yeah.
But I don't know what y'all doing in that organization. It's like signing Elfrid Payton. Like y'all doing.
Yeah.
Or not starting great players like Dennis, great young players like Dennis Smith Jr. Shit like that. So.
Yeah, I think. Well, Austin Rivers is also a good veteran guard. I think they signed. He played pretty well in Houston. So I think that helped. I think our problem Well, Alvin Kamara's only on a 1-year contract, so hopefully he does shitty enough this year that he won't get re-signed. That's what I'm hoping. And where was I going with that? I think it's done. I think we're done rebuilding. Obviously, we're still gonna be in the lottery, I think, next year. But I think we have enough pieces that we need to start developing harder, developing more. Like RJ Barrett is a good young player. I think in 6-7 years he could be an all-star, depending on how they go with it. Mitchell Robinson, one of the best young centers in the league, defensively, averages about 2.8 blocks. You can't teach 7 foot, but I think it all starts with the coaching staff and who they decide and who's going to be in the rotation heavily.
Yeah, I agree. I think the coaching got better with Thibodeau. I think you guys just Dolan is just he's Dolan. Yeah, I like Steve's analogy of the Knicks being the Cowboys. It fits perfectly, honestly. Yeah, I think they're still rebuilding. I still think they're gonna make the lottery for the next couple of years. I don't see them getting much better. They were 21-45. I don't see them. I see them maybe hitting 30 games. But why would you want to? I mean, you're rebuilding. You might as well just tank for it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting season for my Knicks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I try to watch every single game. I probably won't be able to, but I'm going to try.
All right. Yeah. Any
All right.
last comments or remarks?
Go Knicks.
Boston's gonna win his division. I'm just sold on it.
I think they're the best squad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have the best starting five from top to bottom. I agree. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah. You got it, Osco?
I just want to say thank you for watching. You guys say something.
I got nothing.
Hasta luego.